Hey everyone, a lot of you will know we have a site full of team comps for TFT, but we also do these expert video guides to take it one step further. You can find all of our comps for set 5 on our website, and all the information like items, transitions, and positioning in the link down below. This comp focuses on Nightbringers and prioritizes Yasuo as the main carry rather than Aphelios. They're both good units, but we focus on Yasuo to power spike faster and have a less contested late game. You can play this comp as slow roll or fast 8. This means you have the option of slow rolling for Yas 3 at level 7. However, you can also choose to level up normally and try to 3-star him at level 8 rather than spending the gold at level 7. At level 8, you'll want to run Yasuo, Lee Sin, Volibear, Aphelios, Diana, Ivern, Sejuani, and Vladimir. Your best chance to win is to have Yasuo 3-starred along with the rest of your team upgraded to 2 stars. This can be difficult already as you'll need economy to both 3-star Yasuo and to find units like Volibear and Ivern for the late game. Having another 3-star carry with Lee Sin is a great way to further increase your team power ceiling. Your main options for this comp are replacing Sejuani and Vladimir, as they're the two weakest Nightbringer units. Sejuani only gives Brawler to Volibear late game, while Vladimir combines with Ivern for Renewer. While better than nothing, it's definitely replaceable. For example, Fiddlesticks and Gwen can be an option if you need some Mystic on your team. This also gives your Revenant another tier in the trait, making them a little bit tankier. Some other examples of strong units are Galio and Rel, who are just great frontliners, Nautilus and Jax for Ironclad, or Akshan, who can combine with Aphelios for Ranger. These options won't happen in most games as they require even more economy, which is difficult when trying to 3-star units like Yasuo and Lee Sin. For Spatula options, the best thing you can make is an Assassin emblem. It's a core item for Lee Sin in this comp. He'll combine with Diana to provide Assassin 2, but you mainly care about Lee Sin leaping to the backline and crippling the enemy carries. If you get him 3-starred, he might even one-shot a few units. Renewer Emblem and Cavalier Emblem are two marginally useful options, but they can still be decent. Renewer can go on someone like Diana to gain a little extra mana, while Cavalier can go on Volibear to make him tankier. Moving on to Radiant items, we'd obviously like something strong for Yasuo. The best thing we can find him is Radiant Hurricane. Since it applies Yasuo's on-hit true damage to an extra target, Radiant Hurricane is the most effective damage option. It also reduces the amount of bows you need for Yasuo's core items by 1. Radiant Rapid Fire Cannon is an alright option. The damage bonus is not very good, but if you can't build RFC, you'll go for this item. Most other Radiant items have more value, but having RFC on your melee carry is too crucial to pass up. Radiant Hand of Justice is an amazing overall item. It gives bonus damage stats as well as healing for Yasuo, making him quite difficult to take down once he's 3-starred. Radiant Jeweled Gauntlet is another solid item that'll help Yasuo build up his true damage through his ability. This is arguably the weakest of the Radiant items, but it's still a very strong option. Moving on to general items, Yasuo has very specific requirements. His best two items are Rapid Fire Cannon and Runan's Hurricane. RFC allows him to deal damage from a safe distance while also reducing the time spent moving around the board. Runan's Hurricane spreads his true damage to multiple targets, making it much easier for him to carry. For the last item, we recommend increasing his damage with something like Jeweled Gauntlet. Running 6 Nightbringer means we can skimp on defensive items. Two strong setups are Rapid Fire Cannon, Radiant Hurricane, and Jeweled Gauntlet, or Rapid Fire Cannon, Runan's Hurricane, and Radiant Hand of Justice. Lee Sin will be our secondary carry. Since he's also a 3-cost unit, you can look for both him and Yasuo at the same time. For Lee Sin, we want Assassin Emblem to allow him to jump to the backline. After that, you can build all sorts of items like Hextech Gunblade for survivability, Moralonomicon for utility, or ability power damage items like Blue Buff and Rabadons. If you set him up with Assassin Emblem, Hextech Gunblade, and Moralonomicon, he'll live forever on the enemy backline, slowing their carries and preventing them from healing. If you have leftover items, the utility goes really well on Diana. Things like Shroud, Sunfire Cape, Frozen Heart, etc. Most of your extra defensive items can go on Volibear since he's the main tank of the team. Bramble Vest, Gargoyle Stoneplate, Warmogs, etc. Let's break down our strategies stage by stage. With almost all default comps, you can start the game with just about any units and look to either win streak or lose streak. Even if you aren't running Nightbringer units or Legionnaires, make sure to build your core items for Yasuo. Level up to 6 at 3-2 and build the strongest board you can with the units you find. You can roll down a bit if you want to be aggressive or stabilize, but you'll get more mileage if you can wait till 7. Level up to 7 at 4-1. If you need to stabilize, you should roll down a bit in order to find and build a strong team. Now you have a choice to make. You can opt to slow roll for Yasuo 3 at level 7, or level normally and look for Yasuo 3 at level 8. Hitting Yasuo 3 at level 7 will be cheaper, but your team won't be strong if you can't find all of the 4 and 5 cost units. If you're close to Yasuo 3, slow rolling can be a good choice to guarantee a hit. If you're very strong, you can play greedier by going level 8 and then looking for Yasuo 3. If you chose not to slow roll, you can level up to 8 at 5-1. Depending on how strong you are, you should roll down to complete your team. If you feel strong, you can start building up your economy before rolling it all down to find Yasuo 3. If you did slow roll at level 7, simply go to 8 once you hit and roll down to complete your team. For our positioning, we'll want to keep Yasuo in the second row to not get hit by enemy units at the start of the fight. Most of your other units can act as a wall for Yasuo to deal damage. Diana should be placed in line with enemy carries to disrupt them. Lee Sin should also be used the same way if he has an assassin emblem. Without it, you can use him as bait for things like enemy assassins. Lastly, Aphelios can go in the corner as the only high-range unit on the team. You can build the early game using Nightbringers and Legionnaires, but Skirmishers and Sentinels can also make for a very strong transition. Lee Sin is a Skirmisher, while Yasuo can pair with any Legionnaire you find. Just make sure to pick up Nightbringers on your bench to transition in the mid-game. That'll give you everything you need to know to win with our Hasagi comp. Remember, you can follow along with this guide in-game with our TFT overlay, so make sure you download that and bring it with you into your next game.